join the 28-hour SQL Server Masterclass on the Udemy platform for only $15 instead of $89. Learn how to become a future developer or either a future DBA or performance expert on SQL Server with 150 exercises. The link to the promotion is in the video description. Okay? Want to get started on SQL Server? Then join me. The left join. The left join is an external join to return all records from the left table with the corresponding values from the right table. Okay? To better understand its schematized by this drawing. Okay? We take all the values from the left table with the corresponding values from the right table. But we don't take the values from the right table. Okay? So you see in the syntax that instead of putting a linear join, we put a left join. With the left join, we can do a is-null filter. Okay, what is this is-null filter? The is-null filter on the left join will bring back all the lines, all the rows in the left table, but that doesn't match the right table. So what it looks like in the drawing. So we bring back just the value of the left table, and at the end we put where on the right column. AID customer, for example, is null. Okay, so it will just bring back the values of the left table. It will filter them. Same thing for the right join. It's an external join to return all the records from the right table with the corresponding value from the left table. Syntactically, as you can see, we move left and put the right join, and it returns the right values that correspond with the left ones. Okay? With the is-null filter, it's the same thing like as the left join. We are going to bring back just the rows from the right table, which has no match with the left table, like this. Okay? So, without the intersection of table A and table B, which is the left table. Okay? Okay, let's go for the demonstration of left and right join. We do a select of the orders and customer table, and we have always the same data. Okay. The question is which customer is not attached to customer ID in the order table. Here we have the customer Albert Einstein and Chuck Norris. That the customer ID is 12 and 13, and at are not reference in the order table. Okay, there is not associated order number, and we want to know how to find the 12 and 13 in the query. We won't be able to do an inner join because, as you have seen before, it will only output the correspondence between the two tables. So we will try to find the way to output just the 12 and 13. Okay? We said to ourselves, in this case, we are going to do either a left or a right join. While in first, do a left join at the beginning. As you can see, we replace the integer by just a left join. Okay? And if I run this query here, so what SQL did? It took the matches from the customer table here, okay, for 1, 3, and 5, here that match with the order table, okay, and plus the values 12 and 13. Okay, so it's normal to have 1, 3, 5, 12 and 13. Okay, so in this case we are obliged to have the filter. That is to say we are obliged to filter the data, and we are going to tell him take just the values corresponding to the left table. Okay, so here we take just the left join from the left table with no correspondence on the table customer, the table B, with no value from the right table on the B value, and the correspondence that is with. In this case I have to add the null. So I select and I add where ID customer is null for filter the data. Let's run this query and I have 12 and 30 Albert Einstein and Chuck Norris. It works perfect. So there I have the answer to my question, which client is not attached to an ID client in the order table. Okay. We can also see that the outer join just here is optional. Okay. If I put an outer here, it's exactly the same result. In some query you will see the outer. Okay, it's optional. You can also do the same thing with the right join. Just reverse the customer and the order table. Okay, we change. Customer is now on the right and order is on the left. We reverse the two tables. We put the customer B in the right join. That means add the join on the right side of the customer table. And if I run the select, it's the same result. Okay? It's the same thing, right join, left join. And we can also say that the outer right join is exactly the same out as the outer left join. It's optional. Okay, so you see the power of the join. How far can we go on the data filter with the isNow filter? We can go very far, so it's very powerful. Okay, so come on, let's go to the next demonstration.